Hello, it's Peter Wright and Kathleen Beauvais with another weekly wrap-up for Health Declassified. And we are talking to you the week ending 13th of June 2025. And for us in Southwest Ontario, Friday the 13th is always an interesting day because all the motorbike guys and girls head off to the little town of Port Dover on Lake Erie. And it's something like 15,000 bikes, I think, head down there when the weather's good, and they would be all very well behaved, and it's quite spectacular. So, of course, around here we see them all on the road. So, Kathleen, have you got your bike out? Are you heading off to Port Dover?
No, Peter, I don't have one of those. But if I
Nor do
did, I
I.
probably would be.
That's right. I used to in my younger days. I had a big one, and then on the farm I had off-road bikes for the farm. But my
Did
motorbike days
you?
are, yeah, I are long gone. Yeah, I went on some amazing breakfast runs in South Africa down the coast. It was like 500 bikes. It was fun. Anyway, we're not here to talk about bikes. So, Kathleen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Peter. Thank you. The sun is shining. It feels wonderful.
Mm.
And I want to talk to you today about weight training, actually, Peter.
Ah, good.
Weight training and how it can protect against dementia in older adults. Had you heard?
Ah, no, I hadn't.
Okay, well, let me tell you all about it. So there was a study from Brazil's State University found that twice weekly weight training for 6 months preserved brain regions vulnerable to Alzheimer's in older adults with mild cognitive impairment. It says here that the researchers focused on two areas often damaged in the early stages of Alzheimer's diseases, the hippocampus, which is key for forming new memories, and the precuneus, which plays a role in attention, visual processing, and the sense of self. Isn't that interesting? So it
Very.
says here that after 6 months, the group that exercised saw no volume loss in the right side of either region, unlike the control group, which experienced significant shrinkage in both.
Oh,
This suggests weight training can help physically preserve brain tissue in areas most vulnerable to Alzheimer's. And it goes on to say that beyond just preserving brain volume, weight training also improved the quality of the brain's white matter, which serves as the communication network between different brain regions. So, in this research, 5 of the 22 people in the resistance training group improved enough to no longer meet clinical criteria for cognitive impairment. Isn't that amazing?
yeah.
Yeah. So, exercise protects the brain through multiple mechanisms, it says. It stimulates growth factors, it reduces inflammation, improves cerebral blood flow, and regulates stress hormones that contribute to cognitive decline. So it says for optimal longevity benefits, research suggests limiting strength training to 40 to 60 minutes weekly. Exceeding 130 to 140 minutes may actually reverse health gains and may even shorten your life, it says.
Oh, oh dear.
So, mind body exercises like yoga and Tai Chi also benefit from brain health. They lower the cortisol, which reduces stress, reduces anxiety, improves executive function, attention, and processing of speed. So, this article was from Dr. Mercola. We will provide a link to that full article for you to read. Quite fascinating, isn't it, Peter?
It is. It's good. Yeah, very, very interesting that weight training can
Now
help
we've heard
help your
about weight
brain.
training. I mean, the benefits of weight training in older adults. It helps to preserve bone
Sure.
mass. It helps to curb, osteopenia and osteoporosis. Very important for that. But who knew about
Brain.
preserving your brain, right?
That's right. That's interesting. Yeah. So, but it says you shouldn't go over what? 140 minutes a week. So I'd better be,
130 to 140 minutes per week.
that's 2 and a bit hours. So I sometimes spend 4, 5, 6 hours at a weekend lifting up big logs when I'm splitting wood. So maybe I should cut that down a little bit.
There you go, Peter. There you go.
Yeah, we'll be talking more about weight training for seniors when we are talking about our guest this week, which we'll be talking about in a moment. But first, Kathleen, you've got a health product to talk about.
Yes, Peter. Today I would like to promote Dr. Morse's
Hmm.
kidney tea, and it's great. It's a great tea. It's a loose tea that helps with the detoxification process. It's drinking this herbal diuretic naturally stimulates the kidney function without actually depleting your minerals. And it's so pleasant tasting, Peter. It's not like a lot of these earthy teas that are just so, bitter.
Yep.
This isn't that at all. It's mild smelling and it's quite lovely.
Oh, it looks good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Very,
yeah.
very good.
So we will
Good.
provide a link to that product below this video. And if you put Yakking Show, because that's what our former name was, into the promotion code, you will get a discount on all of Dr. Morse's products.
That's right.
That's
Thanks
it
for
for
that,
me, Peter.
Kathleen. I've got a little health tip today, and that is I went off to the dentist end of last week for scale and polish and clean. And the dentist said, as you get older, looking at me, your gums recede, and it's very difficult to clean the roots of your tooth that get exposed by gums receding, and stop. And that's where plaque builds up very quickly on the roots because there's no
Mhm.
enamel. So
Mhm.
she said, I want you to get these special toothbrushes. And I have one here to show you. And I don't know if you can see that little pointed bristle thing on the end.
Yes.
It's a bit out of focus, but it's a little toothbrush
Looks
like
like
this.
a
There,
flame.
yeah, it looks like a flame. Goes to a point, but
Mhm.
it's soft bristles. And she said, you've got to get that between the gum and the tooth, inside and out, and just brush it backwards and forwards, and then that'll stop the plaque building up. And she says, unfortunately, with receding gums, your roots are very prone to cavities from plaque because they don't have enamel. So she said it's really important as you get older, and also the interdental little tiny little brushes that I've been using those for years to clean between your teeth. It's really important as you get older. So I thought that was good. So I thought I'd just show you that little brush. We'll put a link to those. You can get them from Amazon in the description. So that was my little health contribution for
Yeah.
the week, Kathleen.
Yeah.
And what happened on the Yakking Show this week? Well,
Meat
we
House
published.
Declassified.
I was listening to you talking about the coupon. What happened on Health Declassified this week? Well, on Tuesday we published an episode and our guest with a guest, and our guest was Dave Jarrell from Strength After 50. And he, as Kathleen was saying earlier about the importance of weight training and keeping fit as you get older to prevent cognitive what?
Decline.
Decline.
Mhm.
To prevent cognitive decline. He was talking about how we lose muscle mass from our 20s, 30s onwards at about the rate of 10% per year, which is significant, right?
It
And he
is.
says once you get past 50, it's really difficult to reverse that. And it's really important to stop that decline. So he has a series of exercises which are very quick to do and tailored exactly for people over 50. And he has a website with all these details on it, and he has training programs. So it's a really good episode to watch. There'll be a link in the description below. That's Dave Jarrell's Strength After 50. And who's coming up in the next couple of weeks? Well, I've got to look at my notes to get it right. Jacqueline Downs. In 2 weeks' time, we will have Jacqueline Downs, and she talks about um, nutrigenics and I've forgotten epigenetics, right?
Nutri
Gee,
yes,
these
nutrigenomics and epigenetics.
nutrigenomic. Gee, these long words get me
Sorry.
tongue tied. But she's really good, and she talks about how different factors determine how our genes are expressed. So, and this is why when you think about it, and when you listen to her or watch her episode, why different people react to different situations in totally different ways. So something that will devastate one person might have very little effect on someone else, either mental, emotional, or physical, because of the way our genes work. So that's an interesting episode. And then the week after, 2 weeks after that, will be Elaine Uskoski, who is an expert on overcoming addiction to video gaming or
Mhm.
online gaming. And she comes up with some statistics, which I won't go into now. You need to go and watch that episode of how serious this problem is. And it's a brand new problem that's only become apparent in the last 20 to 30 years.
Yes.
Very, very serious. And she went through it with a family member, and she's now used her experience to help other people. So that's a good one. That's what's coming up next. Then, of course, we always talk about a featured author and a book. And this week, we're going back to one of last year's guests, Pat Wetzel from episode 309, with her book, Bump in the Road, 15 Stories of Courage, Hope, and Resilience. So Pat's compiled this list of people who've overcome serious, as she calls it, bumps in the road, some devastating, some near-death experiences, and they've all overcome them and gone on to lead healthy, fulfilling lives. And she had a few bumps in the road herself, or serious bumps in the road. So it's a really interesting book. If you think life's treating you badly, you want to read some of these stories to realize that you're not so badly off after all. And that's about it from me, Kathleen, apart from asking everyone to jump on the website, healthyclassified.com, and sign up for our weekly newsletter so you don't miss out on our guests that are coming up soon in every 2 weeks. And thank you for listening. Back to you, Kathleen.
And if you are interested in engaging with any of our guests, hop on to our Health Declassified Community Forum group on Facebook. We will
Mm-hmm.
also provide a link to that in this video. It's a great opportunity for you to network with like-minded individuals and for you to reach out to some of the guests that you've heard on the show and ask them some questions. So that's it for me. Okay,
I've got
Peter, go ahead. What?
I've got one more. Sorry, quick one.
Sure.
For those of you who have your own newsletters or podcasts, and you are trying to get better at what you're doing and make your podcast or newsletter more successful, we use Kit to distribute our email system, and Kit are having a creators summit on the 18th of June. And we'll put a link in the description. It's completely free, but there's some really top names going to be talking on that summit. Amy Porterhouse is one.
No,
I can't
right.
think of the others offhand, but it's going to be good. So we'll put a link in there, totally free, and you can hop on and might pick up some tips for your own newsletter. And that is really it, me done. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. And until next week, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.